Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, Save Your Time on Data Analysis with New Batch Analysis feature in Axon pCLAMP 11 software. I'm Christy Jewell of LabRoots, and I will be your moderator for today's event. Today's educational web seminar is brought to you by LabRoots and sponsored by Molecular Devices. Now let's get started. I would like to remind all of you that today's event is interactive, and we encourage you to participate by submitting as many questions as you like at any time you like during the presentation. To do so, simply type them into the Ask a Question box and click Send. If you have any trouble seeing or hearing the presentation, click on that Support tab or report your problem by using the Ask a Question box located on the far left of your screen. You can also share this webinar on your personal social media. Just click on the Social Sharing tab and let your friends and colleagues know about today's live event. Additionally, this presentation is educational and thus offers continuing education credits. After viewing the presentation, just click on that Continuing Education Credits tab and follow the process to obtain your credits. I would now like to introduce our speaker, Dr. Jeffrey Tang, Senior Global Axon Electrophysiology Application Scientist at Molecular Devices. For a complete biography on Dr. Tang, please visit our Biography tab at the top of your screen. Dr. Tang, you may now begin your presentation.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for attending this online webinar. My name is Jeffrey Tang, a Senior Application Scientist of Axon Electrophysiology product line. Today, I'm going to talk about one of our new features in pCLAMP 11 software. This amazing feature is called batch analysis. Using batch analysis will save you a lot of time on data analysis. Here in my agenda today, I will give an overview on pCLAMP 11, and I will talk about how to set up the batch analysis and how to import the data and how to use macros and export the data. And I also will do some demonstrations for data analysis. And at the end, I will create a new database. Now, before I talk about batch analysis, I want to give everyone a quick review on pCLAMP 11 software. pCLAMP 11 have two versions, standard and advanced. Both versions have new features in CLAMPex. First new features is the enhanced protocol editor. It includes the 50 epochs. We increased from 10 to 50 epochs. We also increased the switch duration, and also we enhanced the gap-free mode so that we can pre-program of analog output and holding duration and digital output. And the second feature is that we improve the membrane test, and it includes the multiple membrane test window can be displayed, and also independent analog output control. However, only advanced version includes the batch analysis, population spike search, and action potential search. Now, this slide reminds you that the black dongle is for the CLAMPex, and the white dongle is for the CLAMPex advanced version. Now, when you order pCLAMP 11 standard version, you will receive one black dongle, which is for CLAMPex. When you order pCLAMP 11 advanced version, you will receive two dongles. The black one is for the CLAMPex, and the white one is for the CLAMPex. pCLAMP 11 software can be installed in multiple computers. Without the white dongle, the new features such as population spike search, action potential search, and batch analysis will be grayed out. With the white dongle inserted to the computer, those new features will be displayed. Today, I will talk about the batch analysis only. Now, what is batch analysis? Now, in pCLAMP 10, if you want to analyze 10 files, you need to open 10 files separately. And if each file takes you 5 minutes to analyze the data, now 10 files will take you 50 minutes. In pCLAMP 11, you can open 10 files at the same time, but you still just use 5 minutes to analyze 10 files at the same time. That's what I said. It will save you a lot of time. Now let's talk about how to set up the batch analysis. Now first, download the pCLAMP 11 software from our community website, moleculardevice.com. Then navigate to Service, Knowledge Base, Axon Conventional Electrophysiology, and go to the download pages, and then you can download the pCLAMP 11. Then you follow the instruction in the Quick Start Guide to configure the MDC file server. Now you can open the MDC file server through Windows Start, All Programs, Molecular Devices, and then MDC file server. Now you just need to right-click the mouse on the MDC file server and run as administrator. Now you will see the MDC file server manager's window is open. Then you click select the file directory, open a browse dialog to select the folder where you want to store the data files. You click the create a new folder, you type the name, for example, in here, file server, and click OK. Now in the select port field, you type for the 9200 and click apply. And then you click the start button and wait for the start button to disable. When the start button is inactive, click close. Then the MDC file server setup is finished. It's very easy. Now let's talk about how to set up data storage configuration. Now at this point, you can insert the clamp fit dongle to the computer. You can start the clamp fit software and then select the analyze, and then you can run the batch analysis. After the batch analysis window appears, when you see the storage location message, just click OK. When the storage location type dialog appears in here, then you just click this, red add button. Just click this button. Now in the display name field, you can type the name for your data file storage folder. At this point, just you can type the file server. And in the server name field, just verify that the name of your computer basically should be your local computer name is correct or not. Now in the port field, just leave the default setting as 9200. And you can click OK to finish. Then the data storage configuration setup is finished. It's very simple. Now let's talk about how to import the data to batch analysis. Now you can open the batch analysis, select the file, and then you can select the import data file, and you will see individual file and entire folder. Now basically you can import individual files or entire folder to the batch analysis. Now after you import the data, you can go to the configure, and then you can select the data selector hierarchy to display the data in order, such as in the order of the protocol, the name of the protocol, or the day of the experiment day, or the name, or the time. And you can move, the upward and downward arrow on the right-hand side to arrange the sequence of the order. It's very simple. Now let's talk about how to use the macros. You can use the macro to recall, analyze steps, for this data file. Now you select the macros tab, select the recall, then you enter the macros name. Then you can create the analyzer steps and click stop button after finish. The macro is saved. Now let's talk about how to export the data. Now you select Analysis tab and then go down, you can find the export result. You can export your result to Excel file. You can select what kind of result and what format and click OK. Then the result will be automatically exported to Excel file as shown in the right-hand side. Now I'm going to do some data analysis demo that to show you how to, how to do the data import and also the data export and also the macros. And also I will do the demo to show how to amplitude measurement and LTP plot or combine the LTP plot in one graph. And also I will do the demonstration for IV curve and combine several IV curve to one IV curve. Now I will use the amplitude measurement to show you how to import the data and create the macros and export the data. Now what we need to do is that first we open the data file. The data will import it to data selector. Then the data file will be displayed. Recording trace also are displayed. And now we can move the cursor pair to define the baseline region and the search region. Then we select Analyze tab and select the measurement. We select the measurement and click OK. At this time, we just click check the peak amplitude as shown in here. And then the peak amplitude will be measured. And will be shown in the analyzed result. And the curve will be plotted. Now I'm going to switch to the CLAMP feed to show you this function like data import, macros, and data export. Now here's the CLAMP feed. You go to batch analysis, you run. The batch analysis window will be open. Now you can see the data selector. I already import some of the data in here already. Okay. And then what we need to do, we can go to the configure. Now, but I can show you how to do the import first. We go to the file and go to the import data file. You can see individual file and entire folder, right? But because I already import the data file, but I'm not going to do that, okay? And then we can go to the configure. You can select the data selector hierarchy. Now you can see the there's a like protocol, day and name and time. And you can see here, the data file is displayed in terms of the protocol right now. But I can change to the day. For example, I click the day. I use this upward arrow to move the day to the first, to the first place, and hit OK. And you will see it will changes, the display order. You can see right now the data is displayed, in terms of the date. Now I can also change, to the name or the time. Okay, I put a name here. So you can see the name of the data file. Okay, now let me go back to as a protocol. That will be easier. Or I can go to the day. Okay, day will be easier for me to do the demonstration. Now, in order to show you how to use the macro, now I need to click here, the macro here, right? Macro will be here. We can hit record. Okay, but first of all, I need to open the data file first. We can click here, open the data file. Now, in this, in this folder, I have 4 data here, right? Now, before I do any analyze step, I just go to macro and hit record. Now I can put a name here first. We can put, for example, to the peak, because I want to measure for the peak. I want to measure the peak amplitude. In this data file, we have 120 traces. Okay, I open 4 data file here at the same time. I hit the peak here. Then after that, I will move my cursor 1 and 2 as the baseline region, and 3 and 4 is the search region. Then I can select measurement. I measure for the peak amplitude at this demonstration. I have the search region, cursor 3 and 4. I have the cursor region 1 and 2 as the baseline, and hit OK. Now we'll edit the graph. You can see the peak amplitude versus of the time. Now you can see the graph is plotted. The first data file, second data file, third and fourth. And you can see also the peak amplitude is measured here. Now after this, you can hit stop record. The macro will be stopped. And at the same time, if you expand the macro window here, now you will see the peak macro is saved in here. Okay. Now I can also export the data, export the result. You can select, the result in analyzed results data or in dataset result, and what kind of format, and hit OK. Then Excel file will be opened, and you can see the 4 data file with the name is displayed here. Wow, very quick, very powerful, right? So I close this one. Now let's say here, next day, okay, I also using the same protocol. I also have another 4 data file here, okay, the 4 data file using the same protocol. Now what I need to do is that I just go to analyze. I can select the save the macro, the peak. Then I just click, run the macro. You can see all the data is already, the peak amplitude was measured and the graph is plotted. Beautiful, right? So now let me go back to the PowerPoint. Okay. Now, the next demo I want to do is that I want to plot the LTP plot and also the combined LTP plot. What that means is that, so I have, I plot a single LTP plot. Now I can make a combined, LTP plot with n equal to 8. How to combine 8 of this LTP, plot to one graph with the standard, error bar here, right? So next slide, I will show you all those steps first. Now, this slide just, you already saw this slides because I want to use, the amplitude measurement, right? You already see this slide. I open the data file, and then at this point, because I open all the data file, X data file for LTP data, and then I have the recording tree display. I move the cursor here, right, to the search region, and then the baseline region. Then I select analyze, and the measurement for the peak amplitude, and then peak amplitude is calculated, and the graph is plotted. So I have, for example, I have an 8 data file. I have 8 of this curve. Now, how I can make those 8 curves combine to the 1 with the standard error bar. Then what we need to do, we go to, we select analyze, select the arithmetic, and then since we combine those in LTP, so we need to normalize in each data file. We need to normalize the, to the baseline, okay, to the baseline, okay. In this case, I normalize the to the average of the first 3 data points of the baseline. Okay, I just use this example. Now, what you need to type this, this equation. Of course, you can do more data point. If you do 5, you can add, 4 and 5 here, right? Then at the bottom, you need to enter the normalized amplitude in column title. You need to put a name here. Then the normalized amplitude is calculated, okay, and shown in the analyze, result. Then we go to analyze and select copy the data to the dataset result. And then you will see a variable column will be displayed in this copy to dataset result window. You see those are variable column. Then move selected column to the right and arrange column in order. So in this case, I move the child name to the right. I move the normalized amplitude to the right. And you can see the data in the dataset result. Okay, the data are displayed in dataset result. Then I go to analyze and average, select average rows. Okay. Then again, in the average row window, you will see a variable column that are displayed. And very important is that you need to move the start of trace column, okay, this column, to the right-hand side. And the average value in the column, you need to select the normalized amplitude column in here. Then you will see those average rows are displayed in the dataset result. Then you add graph. Then you select average row, okay, start of trace column for X value. And then you select the normalized amplitude, the mean value as the Y value. And then you select the average row normalized amplitude standard error for the error bar. then you can combine the LTP plot to one graph with standard error bar. So let me go back to the clamp fit to show you how to do that. All right. So let me do it again. I want to get all those LTP, data from LTP protocol. I go to Configure, Data Selector, Hierarchy, and put the protocol at the top. Now you see the LTP protocol. All the data is done using this LTP protocol. And just click here. And you can see a data file is open at the same time, right? So then I will go to measurement. First of all, I need to measure for, move the cursor first, 1 and 2 as the baseline region, and 3 and 4 as the search region. Then I go to measurement. Then I pick the peak amplitude and go to add the graph, develop trace. You can see beautiful this LTP data here, right? Now I need to, first of all, I need to normalize, I need to normalize this point, each data point to the baseline, okay? Now what I need to do, go to Analyze, go to Arithmetic, right? I need to type this equation. What this equation means is that each value in the column E will be divided by the average of the first 3 data point, okay, of the recording trace. Now you want to, you can add more, okay, you want to get 4 or 5 data point. You can say add, E, and then do this, right, and then plus E, this one, right, and of course you need to change to the 5, for example, right, and then you put normalized amplitude as the output option and hit OK. Now you will see the normalized amplitude is calculated here. Then what you need to do next is go to copy to the dataset result. Now you select, because you want to plot, right? So you need to select, right, time of trace to the right hand side, and then normalize the amplitude. And of course, you can also move to the child name. You can see the child name of the data file, right? So I do this one and hit OK. Now you will see the data is copied to the dataset result. Right? You can see child name, peak amplitude, and then start of trace and normalize the amplitude. Right. Right. Now you will see that all the data file, will be in one column only here. Okay. Now what I need to do next is that I need to average the row. I will move the start of trace to the right hand side and average, select the normalized amplitude as average value in column. It will calculate the mean, standard error, right, and hit OK. Yep, you will see those data here. Then you just click Add Graph. You select for the average row for start of trace for Y, for X value, and this one for the normalize the amplitude for the mean for the Y value, and then you can select for this for the standard error for here for the error bar. Now the X-axis right now is displayed in second. You can go to axis, change to minute, and hit OK. So in this demonstration, I show you, how to put 8 LTP, prop, curve, combine them as a one, LTP curve with the standard error bar. All right. Then let me go back to my next demonstration. Okay, let me go back to my slides. Okay. Now, what I want to do next demonstration is that I want to plot the IV curve, okay, from many cells and combine the IV curve in one. For example, I have 5 of this single IV curve, and how can I plot, I combine them, to combine the, the 5, IV curve as a one with the standard error bar. All right. So I'm going to show you some steps, okay, first, and then do the demonstration. Now, first of all, I need to open the data file, okay, and then I open file data file will be displayed here. Then the recording trace also will be displayed in this window. Then I go to, select Analyze, and in order to plot the IV curve, I need to select Current and Voltage over Voltage. And select waveform at cursor 1, value at cursor 1, okay, yeah, and click OK. Now the current amplitude are displayed in the analyzed result. And also the single IV curve is plotted. Then you go to Analyze, select Arithmetic. And again, you need to, because I need to normalize, to the maximum value of each IV curve, you just need to select Normax and put the column, for the current, that will be column C. Then you enter normalized current in the column title. Then the normalized current will be calculated and will be shown in the analyzed result. Then you can copy the data set, copy the data to the data set result. Then in the copy to data set result window, you will see a available column will be displayed at the left-hand side. And then you need to move to select the column to the right-hand side. At this point, I move the trial name. Also, I move the normalized current to the right-hand side. Then the data will be displayed in dataset result, as shown in here. Then you select Analyze and Average Row. Then you will see in the average row window, the data, a variable column are displayed in the left-hand side. Then you need to move the voltage column to the right-hand side. And then in the average value in column, you need to select the normalized current. Then the average row are displayed in the dataset result. Add graph. And then you will select the average row voltage for the X value. And then you select the average row normalized current, the mean, as a Y value. And then you will select the normalized current standard error as the error bar. You can edit the axis. And then you can, the combined IV curve is plotted. All right, let me go back to the CLAMP fit to do the demonstration to you. Now, at this point, I need to select this data file. This is a very beautiful IV, curve data I have 5 data file here. So you can move the cursor 1 and 2, move cursor 1, okay. Then I go to Analyze, go to the current and voltages, right. You select the waveform at cursor 1 and value at the cursor 1 and hit OK. Now you can see the voltage and the current. Now I need to normalize the current to the maximum value. Now what I need to do is go to the Analyze, go to Arithmetic. So I need to clear this one and go to the function. Normax is normalized to the maximum. And then because normalized to the current, they put C, column C. And then you can, you can still say normalize the amplitude, or you can say current, right, for example, and hit OK. Now we see the normalized current is calculated, right? Right. Then what I need to do, next step, is copy to the dataset result, trial name, and then normalized current, right? You can move to the up, right, and hit OK. Now you see the all 5 data file will be displayed in the dataset result, right? Now next I need to do is that average row. Yeah, you need to move the voltage to the right, and this one you select for the normalize the current. Then hit OK. Then go to Add Graph, and then you select for the average row voltages, and then you select the normalized current, the mean, as the y-axis, and then you can select the normalized current standard error, and then you can modify the x, so you can put 0 crossing for x-axis, 0 crossing for the y-axis, and hit OK. Now you can see the beautiful combined IV curve is plotted here. All right, it's amazing. It's very easy and really fast. Now let me go back to my PowerPoint slide. Now, I finished my demonstration to show you how powerful of the Bayesian analysis. Now the next question you will meet is that, okay, because the data file in the data selector cannot be deleted. Now you will keep importing the data to the data selector, and then you will have a lot of data in this in the data selector window, but they cannot be deleted. So what we need to do is that we can create a new database, okay, okay, for for the new database, so that you can empty the data file in this data selector. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to do that. So you go to the database tab, create a database. Okay, select the create a database, and then you type a name for your database and click create. And then you select the location where this new database will be saved on your computer. And you may leave it, to the default location and just click save. Okay. Now remember that if you get an error message that the database cannot be created, you need to exit the CLAMP feed and then relaunch it and start to create a database about. And the next to do is that if everything's going well, you will see this message. Okay, database created successfully. And then you select the new database by going to the database menu and choose select database. And then you click the button to open and then the database file and click OK. And then you select the database file and click open and then click OK. and you will see this storage location, then you will click OK for that. And the next step is that you click the red, the add, this red, positive sign, okay, to add a new storage location, and enter a name for the new file storage and click OK. Then the new database is created. Now, I come to my summary of my presentation today. So you will see that the batch analysis saves you a lot of time on data analysis. And you learn the data file can be sorted in many ways, like protocol, time and day, and the name. And macro saved analysis step. And you can use the saved macros for any data file, using the same protocol. And then the result can be exported to Excel file, and then you can easily to combine, the curve with standard error. All right. So thank you so much for everyone to attend my online webinar, and I'm open to the Q&A section.
Thank you, Dr. Tang, for your informative presentation. We will now start the live Q&A portion of our webinar. Now, if you have a question you would like to ask, please do so now. Just click on that Ask a Question box located on the far left of your screen, and we will answer as many of your questions as we have time for. Okay, let's get started. Dr. Tang, we have some great questions coming in. Let's start with this first one.
Great.
Can event detection, like template search, single channel search, can that be done in batch analysis?
Oh, that is a good question. The answer is that no, we cannot do the event detection like the threshold search, template search, and single channel search, or even though like population, search and action potential search in the event detection. No, the answer is no. I think there's a reason for that, because for those kind of event detection, that we need to, sometimes the signal, the amplitude is different. So for example, in the template search, we need to create our own template, right? So that's why it sounds it's good idea, but kind of like it's impractical to do it in the batch analysis. That's why at this point we don't have the this kind of event detection in batch analysis. Yep.
Thank you, Dr. Tang. Our next question. How many maximal data files can be analyzed in batch analysis?
Wow, this is another good question. Actually, I don't know the answer. I don't know, but we have test 100 data file. We have test open 100 data file, okay, that still can go through, okay, and I believe that also depends on the data file, the size of the data file, right? So at least we test it with 100 data file, and then it went through. So then I hope that you can go up to more than 100, but please let me know. If you more than 100, then let me know, okay? That will be appreciated.
Thank you, Dr. Tang. Now, can the measurement and result sheets be changed or modified?
Yes, I'm sorry, because no, the result or the measurement cannot be changed. Cannot be changed in the analyzed result or data set result, right? I think that is a good thing, right? So it's not changeable.
Dr. Tang, we have time for one final question, but I do want to remind our audience that those questions we are unable to answer today during our live event, and those that are submitted during the on-demand period, they will be addressed by Dr. Tang via the email address you provided at the time of registration. Dr. Tang, can the data files in Data Selector be removed?
Oh, this is a good question. As I mentioned in my presentation, yet the answer is no, right? The data imported in the Data Selector cannot be removed. That's why in the last section of my presentation, I teach you how to create a new database. Once you create a new database, that the data the data in the data set will be clean. That you open a new database so that you can import the new data file to the new database, right? That is the answer, right? So since this is the last question, I want to say a comment is that I hope, I believe that batch data analysis is a powerful feature in CLAMP 11. So I hope that, it will save you a lot of time, and hope everyone enjoy this great feature in your research life. Thank you. Thank you so much again to everyone.
And Dr. Tang, thank you for your time today and for your important research. We'd also like to thank LabRoots and our sponsor, Molecular Devices, for underwriting today's educational webcast. This webcast can be viewed on demand, and LabRoots will alert you via email when it is available for replay. We encourage you to share that email with your colleagues who may have missed today's live event. That's all for now, and we hope to see you again soon. Have a great day.